Hi there crafty pals, Louise here. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out this video. Today's prompt is all about paste. You may remember this stencil from earlier in the month when I used it as a new product. It was still sitting on my desk and I knew that I had to use it again. I loved this background. I think it turned out fantastic. So I've put actually some sparkle paste through it, and this was again a kit and a mixed media portion of a layout from Kitaholic Kits. So everything you see me using here, it's from Kitaholic Kits in one of their kits. And I find kits to be so freeing for my creativity. You know, the thought process is really simplified, and I don't have to concentrate as much. I don't have to think really hard. Everything's pre-coordinated. I know that it is simply a matter of being able to use the supplies in a kit and really go with what strikes me at the time. So it could be, in this case, the thickest titles. It could be the pattern papers. Quite a older but simple photo, and this is one that has been in my stash for quite some time. It's been one of those ones that's been really hard to scrap because of the really vibrant color, and I did struggle with it a little bit, but I find sometimes too, if I'm challenging my creativity and thought process, it actually sometimes makes my layouts better. If I just keep going with, what I'm used to and what I've always done, I tend to not necessarily dislike the layouts, but I don't love the outcomes. And this goes both ways, because sometimes you'll get a fantastic layout that you absolutely love, and sometimes you'll try something different and might get a layout that you just go, wow, that's absolute rubbish. Why did I do that? I'm certainly not the perfect scrapper. There is no such thing. I have been known to throw layouts in the bin. I might get to a portion and think, okay, I'll keep this cluster, but I hate the background, or I might love the background and put it aside and actually reuse it for something completely different. So there is no right or wrong. You have to do what speaks to your heart, and they are your memories and your photos, so you should do what makes you happy. All right, sorry for the lecture. I did not mean to have this turn into scrapping 101, but those are just my thoughts. Anyway, I love this cluster. I think I'm really happy with what's going on in the middle here. I want to include a little bit of blue because of the bright blue in the photo. I'm going to pull out my watercolour palette, and this actually turned out much better than I had planned. So as I am adding watered down watercolour to my layers, how you see it develop, some of it soaks into the paper and some of it soaks into the paste, and we get this really tone on tone effect, and I think it turned out great. I love how it kind of darkens and soaks into the paste, but then just sits in that background as well. This is so fun. I like to let things dry naturally, so I've just paused my video there, and I'm going to come back in with some slightly different coloured blues. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of that tealy aqua kind of colour, spread that around, blend it in with those blues. This came out so good. I really enjoyed this. I think that mixing those colours and using them over paste, of course I couldn't resist some splatter. My trick for splatter, if you're not a fan, is it definitely has to do with the type of brush that you use and the amount of water. So for a really solid splatter, you want to have lots of water. For a finer splatter, just a small amount of water and more bristles on your brush. So there will be different splatter depending on the brush that you use and how much water you're using with your colors, but this I think just looks amazing. I love the color, I love the paste, I love the cluster over the top with the splatter. It really just came together beautifully, and I'm super happy with it. All right, going with the little tone on tone theme. This again, I just wanted something a little more in those sort of circle spots of the background. It didn't need much, like I said, just a little bit of tone on tone to help add just that next dimension to that background. So using a brush and just adding a few of the little spritzies. And then I'm just going to take it one step further because, you know, today I just didn't know when to stop, let's be fair. And to go behind my cluster, I'm just going to add this embroidery thread and just wrap it around and make a big old mess and add a textural element. So despite the fact that this layout has a lot going on, I think the photo and the cluster still really shines through. It doesn't necessarily get lost in the background. If you think I'm a bit sort of overemphasizing my tape, that's purely just because nothing seems to hold in the Queensland heat and all my stuff comes unstuck, so it really has to be stuck down, and like you see, I even use a bit of tacky glue. But essentially, I really think this turned out great. I'm going to just embellish it a little bit more around that cluster now that it's all stuck down. But that is my paste share for you today. I thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed.